everyone, George the Disney Italiano with my boy OG. Yes, what you guys were asking for. We are back here at DCA for another walk and talk. We are starting off in Hollywoodland because that's where all the action is going to be coming up for Pandora. So we're going to walk around the area, kind of showcase where everything is at now and where things are going to end up going. And we're still speculating because we're not 100% sure of where anything is exactly going, but it's always a good time here doing these walk and talks at the Disneyland Resort. Let's go do this thing, shall we? All right, so starting on this walk and talk, we have this, and I'm sorry, it's god-awful, ugly building exterior. It's beautiful on the inside. I love the Hyperion of what it was for Aladdin and Frozen, but the exterior of this building is completely DCA 1.0.
Oh, it is. And here's the problem. And when you look at here, the exterior, and to the left, right there where that Hollywood Studios sign is where Pandora is going.
Yes.
So how is this gonna?
Because if you really look at it, okay, so here's the whole building.
Right.
And it's massive. I mean, it has a big footprint. But you're right. If this is where the entrance is for Pandora, look how close the end of the Hyperion building goes to.
Right. And the issue that I have with that is that you're going to have, and this is one of the reasons why I had an issue with Coco on the pier, because you're going to have this weird kind of like contrast of like super hyper themed
Yes.
in an area around it that isn't really well themed at all. So you have this ugly backstage. I mean, let's show them the back of this thing.
Yeah.
It's bare bones, hideous. And you're going to have Pandora sitting just feet away from this ugly mess.
Look at this.
I don't know, man. And that's the thing that bothers me about it, you know? Now, look, if they put a show in here, then it's worth it, I guess. I mean, you know, a lot of people love the entertainment. I get that.
I just don't get, like, for how close it's going to be into Pandora.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, I don't know, man. And that bothers me. And I know a lot of normies aren't going to care about that. Which, you know,
Right.
And to be fair, here on Citrico and my channel, Orange Grove 55, we talk about the normie fan divide.
Yes.
And I'm being a douchey fanboy right now because that bothers me. But, like, does the soccer mom, does the family of four care about the Hyperion being right here? Probably not.
Right. They just care for the experience.
Yeah, but for me personally, like, if you're going to do it, like, DCA, I said so many times, DCA sits just feet away from Disneyland. And I want them to get as close to Disneyland in terms of quality that they possibly can. And I hope they do that, man. I do. I'm going to have an open mind, you know. I'm not just going to blindly hate it if they keep the theater, but I'm just very, I'm concerned, you know. Now, our good friend Bricky has brought up a lot of great points. Bricky said that, you know, the Hyperion has hosts a lot of events, corporate events, things like that, which, you know, makes Disney a lot of money. So that's definitely going to play to the Hyperion's favor. They probably won't get rid of it right now because of that, unless they have another venue lined up that they can switch all that stuff over to.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it just depends on, like, if the entranceway of where it stands now for the backlot area, if that is literally going to be the actual spot where the transitioning goes from Hollywoodland into Pandora. Because now with this entranceway, is this going to be another entrance exit out of Pandora, or are they going to block this off?
It's possible. I mean, yeah, it could anyone's guess on that. And yeah, because just because this is the entrance right now doesn't mean that this is going to be the entrance for Pandora. The entrance, for all we know, could be these buildings right here to the left of us with smoothies and all that, you know?
Exactly.
So I don't really know if this is still going to be open the same way it was.
Because then you have the animation building right here. Now, as far as we know, the animation building's staying.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very curious to see, like, even what is to become of all this, because we do know of what we just walked through right now with the backlot. That's not going to be the entire Pandora. Like, they'll push back further because it showed in the concept art that Pandora's ass is what I call it,
Right.
is going to hit into the bus load unload area.
Well, and how is this building, Smoothies, and all these facades like the Fairfax Market and what have you over there?
Right.
How is all that going to be incorporated? Is this going to be bulldozed, which I'm assuming it will be?
Right. So yeah, would this then all this become
be
part of
Pandora? I would
Pandora.
assume. But then here's the weird thing. But then you have half the street Hollywood,
yeah,
and then the other side is Pandora.
So like, where?
How do you
I
fit
just
that?
don't.
I don't know. I just think that's kind of weird. And again, we don't know the plan, so I
Right.
mean, we're speculating.
We're speculating.
So,
yes.
but just out the gate, I don't know.
And then what do you think as far as PhilharMagic? Do you think that's further back enough that it's saved? But then again, you have the building back this way with the facades here. So
Yeah.
does that stay, or
I mean, you can technically get rid of the actual theater and then keep the facade and just have it like a dead facade.
yeah?
Like Fairfax Market doesn't go anywhere.
But I just don't know how like the structures of everything like scream like Hollywood sets, and then you're going to turn over here and you're going to have Pandora.
Yeah.
I still don't see it.
I don't either.
I mean, Disney confirmed, like, more so that's where it's going, unless they
Right.
make a last minute change. I mean, they could do that, but
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well.
I think that's pretty much what they've agreed upon, and I'm sure there's a good plan. I just hope they put the love into it like they do Disneyland.
Yeah.
And pretend it's Disneyland, Disney. Treat it like that, and I'll be happy. But
yeah,
a lot of times they don't.
and that's the worrisome with DCA.
That's
They'll
the
just drop it in.
They'll just drop it in, and that bothers me. And to give Disney credit, they did go balls out with the 2.0.
Yes, they
Put
did.
$1 billion into this park,
And they did it with love. Like, they really showcased of like what they could really do when they really want to try.
Right, exactly. And that's all I'm asking. Like the same kind of love you put into Buena Vista Street and Cars Land, I just want that same energy for the new stuff we're getting. So hopefully that's the case. And it's not just about the land itself. Like, I'm not worried about Pandora being a cool land. Pandora is going to be an amazing land itself.
Yes.
But how does that tie into the rest of the park? And that does matter. That is important.
It is. It really is. And especially with something that overly themed when
Right.
it's tied to James Cameron.
Exactly.
So I'm very curious to see like how he thinks of it and what they, I mean, obviously they have to have something up their sleeve that we just don't know yet. There's
there
still
is.
some pieces of the puzzle that's missing.
100%.
But I'm hoping that like whenever it's all said and done, we're like, okay, I didn't think of that. Why didn't we? But it makes sense.
It makes sense. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I guess now we'll head over to the Coco area and
Yes,
check that out now.
absolutely. So we will see you guys over there.
Is that a
Mr. Wizard? Is that a Mr. Theme Park
That's
Wizard?
right, and now we're gonna get some ice.
That's awesome. You should probably keep that.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that.
Oh, she's gonna get some too. Like a Farmland ice cream.
Let's do it.
You can't hear me.
And that's what you get when you come across a theme park wizard. All right, Wizard, you have some beef that you have to say.
This is ridiculous. I came all the way from New York, right from California, to California Adventure for my favorite ice cream, Cars Land, and all the other cones have stuff, but the Cars Land ice cream, the best in the world, is out. She's crazy. She shooed me away. And I said I came all the way from Canada, and she still shooed me
She
away.
still shooed you.
Like, what the heck, Disney? Fix your ice cream. You're not McDonald's. You fix your ice cream machine, man. I was so excited for this. I really woke up this morning wanting this, and it's gone. How is that the only cone not working? The cheese one should be broken.
The cheese.
It's worse than McDonald's with their ice cream machine.
Exactly.
Yes. We're going to have to let Abby know because she loves the Cozy Cone ice cream.
See?
She's going to be very upset.
Now I have to go all the way to Jared Deli to get stupid ice.
Yes, you stupid. We are now making our way down to the Paradise area. It gets so confusing at times because you have Pixar Pier, and then you have the Paradise. What is it even called? Paradise
Garden Grill.
Garden. Yeah, Paradise Park, Paradise Gardens, whatever you want to call it. It's just like so confusing because it's this little piece of area that just like is DCA 1.0 that kind of got a little bit intermixed with DCA 2.0, but it has nothing to do with Pixar Pier.
Yeah,
It's its own thing.
yeah, and that's why I'm hoping this Cocoa attraction that they're going to put back here.
Yeah.
Ricky was talking about how the Paradise Garden Grill will actually, that whole area, that whole food court, he believes that it's possible that that will be incorporated into like a bigger Mexican village. And I really hope that's the case.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that will kind of tie that back end a little bit, tie it in better. But still, with the jumping jellyfish and the Zephyr and all that,
Yeah.
it's an eyesore. But I'm just kind of being a douchey theme park nerd at this point.
But also too, like it would fit so well because you have the Pixar Place Hotel in the background.
Yeah.
So it ties into the theme. If they were to just turn all this into Pixar, and I know how your concern is, OG, with like too much Pixar as it is.
Right.
But I feel like at this point they're going to have to do something with this to have cohesiveness.
Yeah, or build a bigger building to cover up that ugly hotel.
That too.
One of the two. What are your thoughts, Wizard?
Yeah, I think they should do something because like this doesn't make any sense now with Pixar over there.
Right.
Yeah, and they have the Cocoa stuff here anyway during the holiday, so they can make it like a proper Cocoa land.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like unlike with Avatar, it would be a nice transition no matter which direction you're walking in, that it leads into the little Mexican village. Like you can't go wrong with it.
No, absolutely. And I can see them turning this into a little Mexican village. And this is where they hold a lot of the Latin festivities, like the Feliz Navidad stuff,
Right.
and the De Familia Coco thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's Now I know I sounded super white. I know my Spanish is not great, but bear with me. But I think they've already kind of established this area as sort of like the Latin end of the park.
Right.
So it was smart, I guess, in that regard to put it back here.
Yeah. And as you were mentioning earlier with Bricky, when he was bringing up the concept art, that you can kind of see that there's like a sitting kind of area where you could sit down and eat and maybe have a little restaurant, and that's where it looks like this area right here is what's going to be added on because you see it beyond the entranceway of the Coco ride.
Right, exactly. So, this is going to be a tight squeeze. They're going to build that mission style, facade right here for the Coco entrance. So I'm very curious because look, if they keep this area as is, the garden grill,
Right.
there's not enough room. There literally is not enough room. Like here is not enough room, in my opinion, to fit that facade we saw in the concept art.
Right.
Right here. You would have to do something. You would have to alter at least the boardwalk pizza to some degree.
Because because this was further back, because we were saying that this is where the entrance is going to be,
Right.
supposedly, one of the entrances. But when you look at the angle of where the entrance is to this, doesn't it seem like the entrance for Coco is up further?
Yeah, it is.
Like up closer to us?
It is. It's going to come out here. What do you think?
It'll be like where those dots are,
Yeah.
those little things.
Yeah, kind of like maybe like cut where like right where this entrance is to here. You just come up a little bit further, and then you have the entranceway. So this could possibly be the new entranceway for the Coco area, and they just add more into it where you walk further back.
Yeah, does that gimbal have like go-go gadget extend and you can look over that wall or no?
I don't know. Yeah, it's unfortunately.
I wish.
See, but then you have this, the
I
Incredicoaster,
know.
which is extremely loud, and then you have the Silly Symphony swings, that's also a little bit loud with the music. I mean, listen to that. You put both of them together, and then you're trying to like get into the Mexican village kind of area because they're going to want to play Mexican music and everything,
Right.
Hispanic culture, because that ties so well in with the Coco movie itself is the music.
Exactly. Exactly. So we'll see how it shakes out, man. I mean, I hope they just incorporate it really nicely. The coaster is an issue, but I think we're stuck with it.
Yeah, I
You
think
know?
so.
So
I do think so. But again, we got some clarification from Disney, but we're still not 100% sure. You know, there's still lots of questions, lots of answers that need to be answered with those questions. And we'll be here to report on it for sure.
Sweet.
All right, folks, that's it for us for this walk and talk for Hollywoodland, transitioning into Pandora, and also the Pixar Pier, possibly getting an extension for. By the way, you got some mommy milk on your chin.
Mommy milk.
If you know, you know, and if you don't know,
You know,
that's all good too. But yeah, anyways, also the Paradise Gardens area becoming Coco. But
It's
we want
better than daddy milk.
but we want to thank you guys for joining us. And as I always say, in Italiano fashion, stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney.
Stay
Italiano
Disney.
out.